This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. Thursday, November 16th, 2023. Live chat, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Interesting day, folks. Interesting day. OpEx, ChopEx. Today feels like the day of the pivot. Meaning, as we talked about sometimes, well, not sometimes, most times and not, OpEx is one direction one part of the week, one direction the other part of the week. If you're not familiar with this, go to my website, thetradingagent.com. Go to Back to Basics Education Series. What's up, Bieberg? And you will watch, I've got the videos. All the videos you might need. And there's, come on. For some reason it's slow, but tons of them. I'll talk about options expiration. Here we go. There's tons of stuff. Pin action, all sorts of fun stuff to learn. On that note, as we know, what's going on, the rest of this, I'm telling you, and people just they never see it until they live this stuff. The market action is not healthy. This is the straight line action you saw before COVID crash. This is the straight line action you saw before November 22. This is the straight line action you see that gets bears to completely give up and bulls to go all in. That follows with what? Pound town, da-da-da-da. Sorry, the refreshing. Eat fresh, refresh, Subway, right? Here you go. Bitcoin failing at the highs. We talked about oil. Yikes. Natural gas. Yikes. Intel fire. Oh, no, holding up pretty well. But we'll talk about that one here because they got a ton of upgrades today. Again, all sorts of fun stuff. The buddy passes in full effect. I even got an email about it. Keep telling people, watch bonds. $8.2 trillion of U.S. government roll over the next 12 months. I don't know how the beep, 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 beep. They're going to be able to sell any long-dated treasury. It's all going to have to be like super short-dated. And the interest rates are what they are. And sadly, if you're if you're central banks, you need a market crash. You need money from Apple, Microsoft, all these mega caps to come into the bond market and buy debt and deflation. What's the best way to get deflation? Recession. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. This is just crazy. Some of the stuff I'm seeing on Twitter is just absolutely bonkers. They'll tell you with a straight face, it's a bull market, not a stock picker's market. Look at the freaking IWM. Absolute dog shit. You got people celebrating. Yay, 190 Apple. Oops. So much stuff out there. Been 12 consecutive months of U.S. manufacturing contraction. What happened? Recessions. Walmart says their sales are falling off a cliff. Did anyone see Baba today? I thought this was a market tops thing you see. You see prepare for soft landing. You see the Google search for soft landing. You get Michael Berry closing out. You see the IWM call ratio. Oh, dude, you nailed that. One of y'all nailed that IWM short at 181 and change. Fantastico. Sorry, I'm talking to people in the chat. It's just, it'll boggle your mind. Buybacks. Look at the buybacks. What a waste of cash. What a waste of cash. Then you had G showing up and again talking about whatever they're going to talk about. Again, I don't even want to get kicked off the platform for talking about anyone who talks bad about China, but those dictating beep, 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 beep. No, seriously, in all respect, I'm glad Biden stood up to them. Dude, they're not our friends. And he had CPI, which was a joke. It was literally a 34% decrease was reported in the CPI report on health insurance premiums. I don't know a single person who had a 34% decrease in their health insurance premiums when enrolling in health insurance. If anything, they were up 5 to 10% this year. I don't know how the fudge they messed that up. But it's almost like they could go, look, CPI's down, PPI's down. Now, PPI, I trust that was down. Actually, some sort. Because, again, manufacturers, retailers, sellers are doing what? They're having to lower their prices. It's like the housing market. Oh, my God. Zillow announced today, Austin housing market down 18% on average. I am seeing the same crap everywhere. Denver, I'd say, is down 10%. Did we just start? Affordability is you cannot afford to buy, you can't afford to sell a house and move anywhere. Does this make sense with the prices of things at? Unless you have huge amounts of equity, you're going to have to, the interest rate by itself doubling has created your mortgage payment, not doubling 1-to-1, but again, you went from maybe like $2,500 up to $4,500. People cannot afford that. Where are the wage increases? Where are the wage increases? Again, this all ends the same way, but the market doesn't care. That's why I try to warn people. You have to have humility. It's the one thing I have on my desk in front of me always. Humility. Always have humility. Nothing is certain. We do know a recession is coming. We don't know the price action, but the last couple days price action. Now we talked about the dollar volatility. We can get into all that stuff. This is not healthy, y'all. Zingers. Absolute zingers. Yeah, oil spilling. Yeah, that's for darn sure. When's the last time you saw a big zinger like that? You got at least that kind of pullback. You got that pullback. Look at this. The October pullback. Zing pow. 10-12% rallies are not safe. And again, here's an example like they talked about the rally last summer. And then you can go back to COVID. Go back into it. Ding, 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 ding. What year am I on? What year is it? What year was it? Oh, here you go. I guess, not that straight line. Well, again, I was trying to find some of the other ones. Whatever. It doesn't matter. These straight line moves are dangerous. That's all I can tell you. You just got to be very careful. Because, again, in a bull market, you don't see that. You see slow and steady. Look at this. This was an interesting rally in the last year, which we talked about. But coming off a low, this is like zinc. We'll see. Now, again, a lot of people will probably notice that we'll get a buy at some point on a pullback. But this is just short covering. Bears wiped out. Wiped face. I don't know. I saw hedge funds laying off 150. I can't remember which instant, but hedge fund. But I'm imagining there's tons of other casualties in this short squeeze that we're going to see shortly. Short squeeze, shortly results. The people got absolutely their heads blown off if you didn't have stops. I will say, if you looked at the 13Fs, what did you notice? You noticed no one was buying banks. You saw overall more institutions and hedge funds are selling more stocks than buying them. Just keep that aware. Everybody knows something. Everybody knows something. And so at this point, again, what did Walmart just show us? What did Baba just show us? Did anyone see Cisco, Target's numbers? Home Depot's. These weren't good. Retail sales are slowing dramatically when they should be picking up. This is the time of year. Year over year, down sequentially 5, 10, 15% some of these companies' sales. Not good. Not good. And then you can, again, a good point, like I was going to talk about some of it. Look at oil today. Oil spill, new lows. Things you don't see if the market and the economy are strong. I'm just telling you. That's not what you're going to see. Oil getting smashed. You're welcome if anyone took it. Like I said, don't buy commodities. Now, again, uranium's been the outlier. So, of course, the only outlier in all of this, I get people are like, you were wrong about commodities. I'm like, okay, fine. Is uranium. Everything else, not looking so hot. Not looking so hot. And we'll see. Again, I'm not going to say go and short commodities. I thought you could short oil in some of those names. Oil service, but I'm looking for the dippies. Does that make sense? Does this make sense? Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Cool. All right, I need to do a little rant about real estate because as someone who's active in it, I need to make sure people know that I am available to help you out if you're looking to buy or sell. I'm in another referral deal currently with a good friend of mine. I love this shit. We just negotiated the seller off 10% off of their list price after they dropped it 10%, and we got a 3% credit to close in the lending, cash to close. This is the kind of stuff, and again, if you don't know me, you don't know that I have a master's degree in negotiation. Fucking love negotiating in real estate. I know the psychology of agents. I know how to deal with people directly when these communication styles. Again, I love it. This is the thing. If you end up needing to buy or sell a house, let me refer you out. Again, it's no different if you go to Zillow and you find an agent. Zillow takes 30%. I'll take less than that because, again, I don't want to be punitive. But I get involved in the process, and I love being involved. If you're trying to buy or sell a home anywhere in the country, if you're trying to do investment property, love it. Negotiating, this is the time to do it. When you're the only buyer, you have all the leverage. We're willing to walk away. Love this. This is my favorite time to help people buy houses. Absolutely. I promise you to God, if you want to see my negotiation skills in true action, I love it. And here I'll give you one example of how I know when agents are lying. I love this conversation. So I'll call up an agent and say, hey, we're looking at your listing. Just want to see how things are going. They'll say, oh, things are going really well. And I'll ask them a very direct question. Hey, how many offers you guys got running? And they'll go, oh, we got plenty. You better make an offer quickly. And I'm like, oh, you got a lot of offers? Tell me about it. And they'll be like, well, you really should make an offer quickly. And I'll be like, are they good offers? What kind of offers are you talking about? And they're like, we have a lot of offers. If I was you, I would come to the table immediately and make sure you make an offer. And as soon as they do that, I hang up the phone. If the list price was $400,000 and we were going to offer, say, $395,000, I just dropped it to $375,000. And then what happens? We submit the offer. The agent calls back and goes, whoa. What's with the low offer? I told you we had a lot of offers. And it's like, when you have the nuts, you don't brag about it. When you are a listing agent and you have great offers, the thing you tell people is bring your highest and best offer. It's going to be competitive. You don't sit there and you brag and you tell people to make offers because you don't need other agents to make offers. I have caught agents bluffing about this so many times. Again, real estate market is very cutthroat. The people on site are worse than used car salesmen. I love that part. For example, I've found so many times where we've been able to rip listing agents off of literally because again, they think that they're, hey, the house has been on the market for 2 weeks. And it's like, you have a ton of offers? Bullshit. No, you don't. Your house would not be listed for more than 2 weeks if you had a ton of offers. Oh, but we got a bunch of showings coming up. Well, then I pull up in the MLS and I look, no, you don't. I'm sorry. And this is when you catch them that you absolutely pin them down. And it's, again, people say, oh, it's manipulative. No, when you're the only buyer in the market and you have and you have one buyer, well, think of it this. If the house is worth $5, is 3 better than 0? Is 2 better than 0? Is 1 better than 0? Yes. That's the offer. That's the market. And that's the time in the season we're going into, and it's going to be freaking glorious. I'm sorry to talk about real estate, but I'm not also too, because I want you guys to realize, like, if you're looking to buy and if you're looking to sell, this is 90% of how do you list your house? How do you get the most amount of value? It's by picking out the characteristics that are going to show the best on the internet and creating a massive flood of people interested in it in your area. And the marketing is crucial to get over market price or to at least get competing buyers, because people don't understand, like, the average agent is just going to throw your house on the MLS and take some pictures. No, how to create a buzz is a skill. You might have to do a little bit of staging, might have to do a little bit of things to make the house stand out. But when it does, that's how we get 10% over list in this market. That's how, again, me and my business partner, Cody Walker, check him out. Love the guy. Great guy. That's what we do. And if it doesn't sell quickly, then guess what? You have to have plans. You have to it's how you, and again, because this market could be tough, it's how you present it. Keep in mind, if you come in too high, you're going to get blasted. Again, there's so many things to talk about. And again, I love real estate just as much as I love trading, but keep me in the loop if you need any help. So back to oil, back to Costco, back to FedEx, all these names, back to Goldman, back to JP Morgan, back to XLF. I mean, you pick the name. Oh, I'm like, why is the chart's not opening? It's starting to look a little tired. We're coming into zones in a lot of names. A lot of names. You pick it. Like Goldman was noticing a couple days ago, coming up into here. It's like, all right, well, what's the exact high? I don't know. We talked about on the, was it the weekly? Let me just pull it up. Yeah, the weekly, you're coming into the 20. Here, let me pull it up real quick. You're looking over the 50 and the 100 month, and it's done this, and again, a weekly, multiple times, but as you can see, there's clearly the trend. There is a trend. I don't know how you want to draw it. I mean, you can draw these multiple ways, but we knew the upside was getting limited, right? It's same thing with JP Morgan 150. Thing with the XLF. I mean, we could go into this endlessly, right? We talked about like the KRE if it got into 45. It's like, what? You got to be kidding me. 200-day? What? Give it. Oh my God. Right? We talked about so many names, and it's like, this is what's so hard is you don't know the exact prices for which things will flop. Right? Like Apple. In my mind, I'm like, man, this thing is toast. But look at this, just doji climbing all day. But this isn't like, you can tell, like, by the end of the day, the sellers take over. SMH, retesting the highs. You got to get the fuck out of here. I mean, was it rising because we're anticipating, like, China? We're going to be sending more chips to China? Good luck with that. Good luck to that. I mean, There's literally a Cold War going on. I mean, the whole premise of them coming in town and talking was to pressure them to back off. How many times? I can't remember the last time they came in town, but I remember after, like, we slapped more tariffs on them afterwards. We asked them to come in town, and probably a threat like, come in town, we need to talk. We're going to do this if you don't agree. We should talk in person. Because obviously, right, if you're going to give someone bad news, you want to explain it in person, right? Probably told G, hey, kiss the ring. We are America. Do you want our chips? And we need this in return. And they were like, no, we're taking over Taiwan. You can kiss our ass. And we're like, okay, good. Good to know. Thanks. Have a great day. Get the fuck out of here. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe we could kiss in their ring. I don't know. But I don't think we're going to be selling them chips. So it's curious to see it up here, right? A lot of these tech names, like people are piling onto, like, it's amazing. If you go onto Twitter, you go into stock twits, everybody's bullish. I mean, it went from everybody's bearish at the lows to everyone's bullish again. Sentiment has gone parabolic. It's hard to know where the top is. I tell this to people all the time. If you think you're going to pick tops and bottoms easily, good luck. Because you could say this was the top here. Then it's a little doji. Boom! Novice gap. Oh, today looks like it. Nope, little higher. Now a lower low. We've seen this before. So again, keep in mind, if you think you're trading to always be right, you at some point will be wrong. Costco on Walmart's earnings. I mean, here, let's just run through some of the names that had earnings last 2 days. Good old Walmart. People are like, buy the dip. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. So, okay. Okay. All right. You broke above the old highs from 2022 and you gapped down lower. Buy the dip. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Cisco. Thong song. Thong, 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 thong. Right? Oh! Sorry. Palo Alto Networks, Pan W. Name that's been typically strong. Gapping down. Double top. Double topper. How about Baba? People for years, not even years, I mean, I'd say months, have been trying to convince me. Chinese stocks. Gotta buy them. Gotta buy them Chinese stocks. Again, I don't know about the long term on Baba, but I mean, this company's been around. I don't want the dinosaur. This is like buying Amazon 20 years after it, 10 years after it IPO'd. There's the high, and here's the death cycle that it could be in for years. I mean, now again, if you want to trade the range from 130 to 60, I guess, that's probably a decent range. But if you're sitting here going, I'm buying Baba, it's going to 300, you're a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. Not happening. Trade it. It's a trading stock. It's a trading vehicle. It's like people forget about Microsoft. Like, look at this. For years. For years. It just, after it peaked, it was just nothing. Then it goes on a run. Let it play out. Like, same, 1999. My bad. Oops. Years. Buh. Ooh, Baba. No, sir. Don't do that. Do not invest looking back. Oh, I got to buy my dividend stocks. Okay. Well, speaking of dividends, look at, again, if these companies were, I'm surprised, did Buffett buy more Realty Income Corp? Oh, but they host a bunch of Home Depots and Targets and big box. Okay, well, have you seen the same store sales? Do you remember companies called like Sears? Do you remember Kmart? Big box retailers don't always survive recessions. Keep an eye on this because, again, it's technically oversold. Not surprised it's rallying, but people are like saying like this is the buy all dividends. I'm like, this is can't. And again, I could be wrong if the Feds do hyper liquidity, but this is like everybody at the bottom yelling buy and it actually being the bottom. Like, I can't remember that. There's a Sears still in your town? Nice. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's bullish at the bottom. Don't remember that ever being the case. XRT, we talked about the retail index. Trying to break out. Transports. Fills the gap, gets back into the channel. Is this a little trapper? I don't know. IWM. I mean, you would think, again, everyone's like, oh, don't worry about small caps. Look at that. Okay. Oversold rally. IWM should lead a bull market. It shouldn't lag one. That's like, I don't know how to explain it. Off a low after in time, IWM always leads because, again, small caps are going to have the most risk, economic risk, right? Like, it's not like mega caps where they might be insulated partially from economic weakness. Like, small caps literally are the most risky, economically sensitive names out there. Look at how they're acting. Right? Not so hot, my friend. So, again, I mean, we could sit here and beat a dead horse. It's just impressive. It's impressive. Intel, someone's saying 44. Yeah, declining sales. I mean, you're pretty close to some areas here. Again, oops. Can't believe this one's rallying, but whatever. Yeah, and that's the thing. These dividends are not sustainable in economic problems. It's just, I don't know how to explain this stuff to people. It's like, oh, but I'll buy and hold. And it's like, no, you don't want to buy and hold dividend names during bear markets because their yields aren't guaranteed, folks. They're just not. You tell that to people and they're like, oh, well, we'll have a yield. No, they might not be able to sustain their yield. Interesting test that we talked about yesterday, watching up here, filling the gap. There's a lot to unpack here, and its certainty is not it, but it looks like, again, if you have time, risk, calculated risk, sorry, I'm just like looking at stuff. If you calculate your risk, it makes sense to start looking at what? The shorties. I was looking at GBTC, like this thing could get freaking monstered. Oh yeah, Macy's is another one. The good old M. The good old M opens high. I mean, I don't know what to say. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I'm like, it's funny because a lot of the companies are doing ex-div this week, and I'm like, people are like, look at the $5 I made, the $7. Look at that. And no, I agree. It's the same thing. 5% dividend doesn't much matter if the company gets cut in half. And what happens if they go out of business? What happens if they can't survive? What happens if the company in itself can't sustain cash dividends coming out of a bear market? You're just holding a bag, baby. It's a hard business to try to get, and that's where I tell you, like, in the recessions, like, the best thing is cash and trading around. Bear markets, and again, people will say, oh, it's a bull market. And again, I don't have anything against homie here, but I mean, these guys are saying, oh, to tell you what straight face, this hasn't been a bear market. Come on. This has been a choppy stock pickers market. Stop it. Stop it. Like Macy's. Like, Macy's should be like 28 or 22 if this is a bull market. Right? There's so many names that should be like much higher if this was like a full, what I would consider, like XBI. Like, bios would be on fire. Transports would be like on fire. Banks, like junior banks, the IW. I mean, it's a stock pickers market. That's what it is. Don't let anyone tell you this is a bull market. Now, again, the indexes are heavily weighted. I think the Magnificent Seven, or was it just Apple and Microsoft? 29% of the S&P 500 now, I think, or something like that. Some number, I can't remember, is Apple and Microsoft. I was reading where hedge funds, 99% of hedge funds and institutions own Apple or Microsoft or one of the Magnificent Seven. Like, never been higher. Okay, we'll see how that turns out. Shooter McGavin. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, cruise ship sector looks like shit. I mean, there's so many sectors that look like shiitakes. So it's a stock pickers market. Don't let anyone tell you it's a bull market. Come on. Now that like the S&P and the QQQ look fine because, again, they're heavily weighted. But overall, no. Chinese stocks, No, sir. Certain banks, junior banks, no. Companies like Costco look good. Macy's not so much, right? Certain retailers look fine. Some look like shit. Walmart. I always argue, people are like, you got to be careful. Like Walmart is one of those names, and here we go. This is something that I'm pretty sure, if anyone remembers, like Walmart rises into a recession, but then when it gets bad, all sales drop. Like here, go back and look at COVID, right? Where are we at? COVID. I guess this was the COVID. Man, this thing was nuts all over, but I guess they got insulated. It's more like 2009. COVID, obviously, you did see the volatility, but look at this stuff. Like, remember 2018? Where's that at? Did I just miss that? Going back. But anyway, yeah, oil coming down. Oil demand not holding up. Let me go back. I mean, it's been a while. Walmart's been kind of a proverbial, holds up like the dollar store, right? Things get weak, it rises. Ugh, come on. It's been so long. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I guess, here's 2008. Yeah, here we go. Like everybody was like, Walmart, hide in Walmart, recession's coming. Still got, I guess technically didn't get pounded. $60 stock down to 50. But that's the thing, like everything is going to drop. So yeah, it's just a PayPal. Like that stock, that thing's been cooked. Absolutely cooked. I'm trying to think of like anything else. Like, did Bank of America hit our trend line? Getting close enough, 200-day. Again, I think there's a lot of itchy shorts out there that I like. I would scratch that itch. It's the Thursday of OPEX. It should get part of the week up, part of the week down. We're coming into the end of Thursday. I would not be surprised to get follow through. And this is where I'm telling people, don't be surprised at the end of tomorrow or today. Some announcement how the U.S.-Chinese talks did not go well. Expect more tariffs. I don't know. Expect a headline. Headline risk. The streets run red with Burgundy's blood on the 5 o'clock news. Ron Burgundy. MicroStrategy. We talked about watching this one up here. Again, it's like Bitcoin. All right, we'll see. Gold, it's going to be volatile. Looks volatile. Again, could it break out? If the dollar's bottoming, I don't know. Here's the thing. TLT, keep an eye on it. I just don't know how the fuck we're going to sell $8.2 trillion in debt next year unless we do like short-term debt. But even then, it's like those interest rates are still way too high. I don't know why anyone would buy our debt. Maybe it'd rally because of they got a budget deal they kicked the can down the road 30 days. It's like I don't think we'll ever have a real balanced budget until people get real mad. Like real mad. Because at this point, they just will kick the can down the road, and then the media will be like, see, everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. Everything is awesome. It's damn near debilitating and frustrating. XOP, we talked about. That's a nice flop real quick. Yeah, it's hard. It's a stock picker's market. Man, Microsoft. I'm just mind boggled by this. Like, what? Who the fuck is buying this? Who be buying this? Who? Give me why? How? If I'm sitting here as an institution or hedge fund or like some sort of like big time hedge fund, I'm out. I am done. I'm like, tech, you can have it. I'll disappear for a year. I'll go collect my performance checks and go drink some margaritas on the beach. Yeah, exactly. Do you like pina coladas? And a host of champagne. What the heck? And dancing in the rain, something like that. But whatever. Amazon's going to take Carvana's supposedly milk. Also, too, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I mean, people are going to tell you that like Amazon's a good deal here. Okay. And he just seems to be getting stuck under the old range. Yeah, I mean, there's usually a reason that they'll ring the register. And if I had to guess, it's going to be something China, Fed, war related. Again, it's almost like the Middle East just nobody cares about anymore. Getting caught in the rain. Do you making love at the midnight? I think something champagne, right? We'll see. Caterpillar, again, a lot of these names talked about. Get these levels. Cat, meow. Oops, excuse me. Let me zoom in. Looks interesting up here. We talked about Nucor getting to the mid 150s. Looking good. Federal Express. That said yesterday that wick was ominous. Keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on this stuff. I mean, I can't tell you when it's going to spill, but I feel like we're close. It's like the ARC fund. Come on. People are like, oh, look at it. It's on fire. It goes from 33 up to 43. Amazing buy. I'm like, yeah. See what happens in the mid 40s, folks. Oh, you bought ARC in the hundreds, huh? You think you're getting back to even? Okay. Not with the holdings they got. Maybe CCJ is the only thing that'll carry it to promised land. That stock holding up well, but I am genuinely curious about this doji during OPEX. That's why I left the arrow on it. I'm like, we'll see if this ends up being a trap. It's a bull trap. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I appreciate everybody. Again, these real estate rants, I want people to understand, like, this is the time to absolutely steal deals. Now, interest rates, will they go down? I don't know. But they could go down from here just if you wanted to refinance. But here's the point. If people aren't buying houses, the rents go up. People have to live. And now when people say, well, what if the wages don't go up? Okay, well, then I think we will see some sort of stabilization in the housing market. And now you're buying an asset that will hedge inflation. And if wages do go up, you're going to see your rents go up. You're going to see your house prices go up. Now, again, demand might not be crazy, but you will see them hedge inflation. And you own a real asset. That's the thing that I keep telling people. I'm like, cash is trash. Oh, but what if you have to fix that? All right, well, when you buy a house, buy a 1 year, I've been telling people buy a 3-year home warranty if you want. Those home warranties are amazing. Pay like $1,500, 3 years to cover like HVAC, to cover all major, appliances, piping. I'm trying to think of anything like foundational issues. Sometimes, they usually obviously don't cover the roof, but that's where you have insurance. But anything you can almost think of. It's like $1,500 just in case one of those major things crap out, an appliance. Okay. What happens if pipes bust? Got it. Happens if the HVAC goes bad? Perfect. Replace it all. And again, if you got like an older system that has like the old Freon, let it break. I'm like telling clients, it wouldn't be a problem if that system broke. I don't think you'd complain too much if it did. Because the new Freons or not the new one, but the old ones that they discontinued to, like, they really penalized air conditioning systems that have the older Freon or whatever you call it, R or something. Again, I always forget that little stuff. I'm not an HVAC person, but I know for a fact that if you have a system before, was it 2011 or some shit? That stuff is like $100 a pound or something stupid. Again, it's just hard to find, so you'll be stuck. How indicative is volume in stocks topping? You want to see it. See, you also can see and this is the thing. So this is a good question, Carol. I've seen this many times. Sometimes you run out of volume at highs too. Is it R134? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Again, I know enough to say to be stupid and sound smart at the same time. Right? Seeing volume, right, at the highs and lows teetering off. Especially if you get like exhausted. But lows usually more capitulation. But highs you can see volumes die. They can peter out. Novice gap traps on light volume. But then you'll see also, which is crazy, if you look at like, I don't know how many people talk, drew this like with NVIDIA. It was much lower. But somebody's been dumping. But it went a little higher. Like you can tell, like there's some big red candles to open and close. Like somebody's trying to get out quietly. But this is the thing with the market and how it's acting. It's really, I would say, the hardest part to identify at times is the fact that we have a short squeeze. We have a out of position market. We also had, like, obviously the IWM going bonkers, getting people. This is what makes it so hard. And this is where it's like, okay, if you're shorting, remember, it's not forever. I always tell you this. You got to be careful shorting. Again, if the bear market comes, you get big smashes, but you got to trade around your shorts. Like shorting is not a forever trade. It just isn't, right? Even in bear markets, you get 17.3% average rips that are bear market rallies. Like that's, oh. And so obviously it's always easier to be longer term. But here's the question you got to ask yourself going into a recession. And now you have the Feds pricing in cuts tomorrow, like next year. That's the recession is growing louder. Yeah. Do you think a lot of the volume are institutions getting caught with their pants down? Oh yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of institutions getting caught chasing. AMAT earnings after the bell. What do you think of that chart? Don't care about it. But just, that's a good question. Let's check out the AMAT. Where is that at? Okay. Looks like a lot of these names potentially they're breaking out or faking out. I don't know. If it's today, then it's today. If it's not, something like that. I remember when this thing was just an absolute turd. An absolute turd. Applied Materials. Yeah, this thing, look at this. After the bear tech bull market, look at this thing. I mean, it went, traded from like 24 down to $10 for.
Here's what I found.
Yeah, that's what I found, Siri. The stock went nowhere. Like absolutely zero, nowhere. And then it woke up. Applied Materials, I mean, they had like wafers. They had the solar wafers, all sorts of stuff. Now back at the highs from 2021. It's a tough one, mi amigos. Right? We'll see what happens. So. All right. So, yeah, at this point, it just kind of is what it is. Sorry, getting some text. This is an interesting one because, I mean, man, is there a gap there? Let me zoom it in. 152. Currently at 156, right? Okay, yeah. It won't get there, but you can see we're there. This is a tough one. These are all tough. These are all very, very tough. Near term, right? Man, it's funny, like watching XBI. It's like, what is going on? Look at this thing all over the place. Hoy vey. All right, what do we got? The SPY is flat. A lot of people are thinking it's pin action to 450. Again, the more that I hear that everybody thinks that, the more I go, well, everyone's probably going to be wrong. Right? We'll see. All right. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? It's been 38 minutes. I don't want to drag this out just to talk, unless you guys want to talk about something. Double Doge after a gap up. Oof. Yeah. Good luck. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys. Again, have a great day. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Everyone's circumstances are different. I understand how it goes. Things aren't easy all the time, and that's the thing you got to prepare for. If you assume not such, and humility is not the word of the day, always in the back of your mind, then at some point you will be humbled. I can guarantee that. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.